Take a look at a typical house in certain parts of the world, especially in North America or Europe, and there's a good chance there's an entire level hidden beneath it, the basement. It's easy to think of basements as just extra storage space, or maybe that slightly creepy room with old furniture and boxes no one has opened in years. But the truth is, basements exist for some very practical, historical, and even environmental reasons. Today we're digging, literally, into why houses have basements, how they became common, and why they're not found everywhere, right here on History of Simple Things. The idea of building below ground isn't new at all. In fact, humans have been using underground spaces for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations dug cellars to store food, keep water cool, and protect supplies from extreme temperatures. Before refrigeration existed, underground spaces were one of the best ways to preserve perishable goods like vegetables, wine, and grains. As construction methods improved, especially in colder regions like Northern Europe, builders realized that digging deeper foundations wasn't just useful, it was necessary. Over time, these deeper foundations evolved into full basements. By the 19th and early 20th centuries, basements became a standard feature in many homes, particularly in places with harsh winters. One of the biggest reasons houses have basements comes down to something simple: stability. Every house needs a strong foundation, and in colder climates, that foundation has to go below something called the frost line. This is the depth at which the ground freezes during winter. If a foundation sits above the frost line, the freezing and thawing of soil can cause it to shift, crack, or even lift, a process known as frost heave. By digging deeper and building below this line, houses stay stable year-round. Now here's the interesting part. Once builders are already digging that deep, turning that space into a usable basement doesn't require much extra effort. So instead of just filling it in with dirt, they create a full underground level. It's a practical upgrade that makes use of work that already had to be done. Basements also help regulate temperature inside a home. Because they're surrounded by soil which naturally insulates, basements tend to stay cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter compared to above-ground spaces. This makes them incredibly useful for reducing energy costs. In hot weather, a basement can act as a natural cooling zone. In colder months, it helps stabilize the overall temperature of the house. Before modern heating and air conditioning systems, this was a huge advantage. That's also why basements were historically used as root cellars. The consistent, cool temperature made them perfect for storing potatoes, carrots, and other crops for long periods. Another major reason for basements is simple: space. Instead of expanding a house outward and taking up more land, homeowners can build downward and create an entire additional level. This extra space can serve many purposes. Some people use basements for storage, laundry rooms, or utility areas like water heaters and electrical systems. Others turn them into living spaces, bedrooms, home theaters, gyms, or even rental units. In densely populated areas where land is expensive or limited, building downward can be a smart way to maximize usable space without increasing the footprint of the house. Basements also offer a layer of protection against severe weather. In regions prone to tornadoes, for example, basements can serve as storm shelters. Being below ground level provides natural protection from strong winds and flying debris. While not originally designed for this purpose, basements have saved countless lives in emergency situations. Even in areas without tornadoes, they can offer a safer space during storms or other natural events. If basements are so useful, you might wonder why they're not everywhere. The answer mostly comes down to geography and cost. In warmer regions like much of Southeast Asia or parts of the southern United States, the ground doesn't freeze deeply, if at all. That means there's no need to dig below a frost line, so builders often stick with shallower foundations. Another factor is soil and water conditions. In areas with high water tables, where groundwater is close to the surface, digging a basement can lead to constant flooding issues. Waterproofing can be expensive and complicated, making basements less practical. Rocky terrain can also make excavation difficult and costly. If you have to blast through solid rock just to create a basement, the added expense often isn't worth it. Today, basements have evolved far beyond their original purpose. In many modern homes, they're fully finished spaces that look and feel just like the rest of the house. Some even become the most comfortable part of the home because of their stable temperature and quiet environment. At the same time, basements still house essential systems like plumbing, heating, and electrical wiring, keeping them accessible for maintenance while out of sight. In some cities, especially where housing demand is high, basements are even converted into separate living units, adding value to the property and providing additional income for homeowners. So, why do houses have basements? It turns out it's not just about extra space or storage. It's a combination of history, climate, engineering, and practicality. From ancient food storage to modern living spaces, basements have evolved alongside human needs and building technology. What started as a simple solution to cold weather and food preservation became a defining feature of homes in many parts of the world. And while not every house needs one, in the right conditions, a basement is one of the smartest and most versatile spaces a home can have. Next time you walk down into a basement, you're not just stepping into an extra room, you're stepping into a piece of architectural history that's been quietly supporting homes for centuries. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.